Tonight on Cronkite News, how some communities are being impacted by an executive order to cut funding for museums and libraries.
Plus, the official numbers are in. Find out how many fans attended spring training and the impact they had on Arizona's tourism this year.
And a new bat is taking Major League Baseball by storm. We'll tell you all about what makes them so special. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Seaver.
And I'm Ari Wall. Thank you for joining us.
Local libraries and museums are going to feel the impact of federal budget cuts.
Charlie Vicario looks at some Arizona museums that are already bracing for change.
A sunny afternoon at the Desert Botanical Garden gives people more than pretty views. It's a place to learn about the environment and desert culture.
Like other botanical gardens, we are a living museum.
But places like this will face significant funding cuts after the Trump administration placed the Institute of Museum and Library Services, or IMLS, staff on administrative leave, leaving libraries and museums in a state of uncertainty.
The loss of IMLS funding would at its core affect us in how we are able to fulfill parts of our mission.
In 2024, Desert Botanical Garden received $238,000 from the IMLS fund to preserve desert flora.
They originated in Mexico.
An investment they believe is well worth it.
When we know that our impact goes far beyond our garden gates, that's the best feeling of all, because it means what we're doing matters.
IMLS provides funding to museums and libraries across Arizona, including Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. One partnership, the We Be Scientists program, is a hands-on STEM curriculum for school districts across the state.
So having that really deep connection to the desert is something that hopefully is everlasting, and they will grow into adults that are science and conservation minded.
Now the worry is that funding cuts will limit access to educational opportunities moving forward.
Museums would not be able to fulfill the changing needs of their communities in the same way that IMLS allows them to now.
Charlie Vicario, Cronkite News.
Just this week, the 70-member IMLS staff was put on administrative leave.
And earlier today, President Trump announced what he is calling reciprocal tariffs on goods from countries around the world in a bid to boost U.S. manufacturing.
It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper.
The plan would impose a base tariff rate of 10% on imports from all countries. The tariffs go into effect on Saturday. Some experts say his economic policies could spark a slowdown to the U.S. economy and warn of the possibility of rising prices on automobiles, clothes, and other goods.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection is reporting record low border crossings for the month of March. The CBP data shows there were about 7,000 border crossings, and daily apprehensions were also down, falling to 230 per day.
Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg testified today before the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. This comes after several mishaps over the past few years, including 2 crashes of Boeing's 737 MAX jets. Ortberg claims that the company is focused on improving safety and not pressuring their workers to speed up production. Lawmakers have been keeping a close eye on the company since the January 2024 crash and says Boeing must fix their culture and focus on safety instead.
And turning now to the local economy, the numbers are in and spring training continues to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, that's right. The Cactus League continues to prove itself a big draw for baseball fans. Isaiah Soto has more on the historic attendance numbers.
Spring training continues to draw in record-breaking crowds for the 4th year in a row. The Cactus League announced today that the spring season drew almost 1,700,000 fans across 10 teams.
We increased our numbers for the 2025 season by over 65,000 fans. So it's pretty remarkable.
The league faced obstacles from weather to the LA Dodgers and Chicago Cubs departing for their Tokyo series.
2 of our top 3 drawing teams went to Tokyo to play that series in Japan, and that happened on March 11th, which is when our attendance really starts to pick up.
The Cubs returned for 5 more games at Sloan Park, while the Dodgers wrapped up on March 11th. According to the Cactus League Executive Director Bridget Binsbacher, it's estimated that 6 out of 10 fans come out of state driving in tourism across Arizona.
So we know that spring training is bringing them here, but it's awesome that they're coming also to see Arizona and experience other things that are happening from all across the valley and throughout the state as well. So it's pretty amazing.
Here at the Peoria Sports Complex Center, the San Diego Padres brought an average of 6,600 fans per game, but it doesn't compare to the Chicago Cubs, who led the Cactus League in attendance with an average of 13,000 fans per game. The Cactus League is ready for next year, optimistic of breaking attendance numbers again. In Peoria, Isaiah Soto, Cronkite News.
And there was another Cactus League record set this year. The Chicago Cubs played the Seattle Mariners in front of a record crowd at Sloan Park with more than 16,000 fans.
Coming up next, growing old can be a difficult process.
And some LGBTQ+ seniors are more likely to experience mental health problems.
Being a senior is hard. Being a senior in the LGBTQ community is even harder.
After the break, how one local couple is combating these issues affecting their community.
Plus, the weather has been nice and cool lately, but will it stick around? We'll have your full 8-day forecast after the break.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
Welcome back. A lifetime of discrimination and the lack of community support makes LGBTQ+ seniors more likely to experience depression, according to the Services and Advocacy for LGBTQ+ Elders.
Cronkite News reporter Nicole Macias Garabay talked to experts and an LGBTQ+ couple about how traveling can be a solution.
This is Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby, a couple known on the internet for sharing their travel experiences.
So actually, our rings are travel related.
On their YouTube channel, Two Gay Grandpas Travel.
Move your head back, Grandpa. Let everybody see the castle.
Their house on the mountainside of Tucson is a museum of artifacts and photographs that they've collected from all over the world.
Because they say, why would you put cold milk in hot coffee?
These are a testament of a love story that began 46 years ago.
Being a senior is hard. Being a senior in the LGBTQ community is even harder. it's even harder. And so if we can show folks that you can do things, and that love is still out there if you're open to it and willing to risk it, go for it.
Nearly a third of the LGBTQ+ senior community gets diagnosed with depression, according to the Services and Advocacy for GLBT Elders. The adventure of traveling can help this population feel less isolated.
Here's a community of people who are willing to accept me and to have me, and they are like me. So I'm not weird, I'm not different, right? Travel allows you to access those spaces and to enact those identities. So it can be such a protective influence in terms of maintaining good mental health. It can have such a protective influence in combating prejudice and building resilience to combat prejudice.
For Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby, planning the trips can be as exciting and beneficial to their health as traveling to a new place.
That mental exercise of researching and planning and thinking about what you want to see, where your priorities, how you're going to make all these connections come together almost like a puzzle, that's very mentally stimulating in itself.
But finding destinations that are safe for LGBTQ+ people can be overwhelming. Organizations like the International LGBTQ+ Travel Association offers guides to make the search easier.
Talking about countries where laws might not be supportive or downright hostile toward our community, having businesses that can, that the traveler can rely upon, allows them to explore a world that they might not otherwise feel safe doing.
Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby have a message for those who want to travel. Do it with an open heart. In Tucson, Nicole Macias Garibay, Cronkite News.
Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby started their YouTube channel in 2022, and they already have more than 100,000 subscribers.
A new study finds that sleeping with stuffed animals might not just be for kids.
Yeah, adults can benefit from having a plushy friend too. Mental health therapists have found many benefits. Sleeping with stuffed animals can help adults heal trauma or can be used to self-soothe and signal the brain to wind down. It is also getting more common. In 2022, a fifth of stuffed animals were sold to adults over 18.
The Arizona Department of Transportation is making the streets safer for animals. A new project is trying to improve wildlife connections and reduce the risk of crashes involving animals. The project involves installing an overpass just 12 miles south of Flagstaff, and the crossing will be 100 feet wide and is designed to allow a variety of wildlife, such as bears or elk, to cross over the highway. While the weather hasn't been as chilly as in Flagstaff, the temperatures have cooled down a bit.
Isaiah Soto joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center to see if these cooler temps will stick.
We've been experiencing some phenomenal weather here in the valley, but it appears that heat may be on our horizon. Let's take a close look at tonight's weather and what we have going on for the rest of the week. As for this evening, temperatures will be dropping down to 58 degrees with a slight breeze coming in from the northwest. Now for tomorrow morning, low temperatures here in the state, 53 in Phoenix, 48 in Casa Grande, 46 in Tucson. Now in the high country, 17 in Flagstaff, 28 in Holbrook. Now as we get into tomorrow afternoon, warm temperatures here in the state, 45 in Prescott, 70 in Phoenix, 68 in Casa Grande, high country again, 50 in Page, 37 in Flagstaff. Now, we want to take a close look at our UV forecast, which is going to be 8. That means a 15-minute burn time. So make sure you wear your hat, sunglasses, wear some sunscreen, and of course, stay hydrated. Now, as we get into our 8-day forecast, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it looks like things are going to warm up by 79 degrees on Saturday. And for the rest of the week, it looks like we're going to hit the triple digits at 101 by Thursday. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Isaiah Soto.
Coming up next, we may still be a few months away from NFL training camp, but arena football can fill that void.
Yeah, that's right. The Valley's own Arizona Rattlers are back in action. When we come back, find out how the reigning Indoor Football League champs are gearing up for the new season.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer. I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Andres Armenta. The Valley Suns are making waves in their first G League season, and last night they took a major step forward, defeating the Santa Cruz Warriors 131-127 to advance in the playoffs. Ty Washington Jr. was the star of the night, dropping 40 points on 16 of 27 shooting, while Jaden Shackelford added 21 points of his own. The Suns built a 19-point lead, but Santa Cruz fought back, setting up for a tense fourth quarter. However, the Suns clamped down defensively, holding the Warriors to just 15 points in the final frame to secure the win. Next up, the Suns will face their toughest test yet, a showdown with the top-seeded Stockton Kings in the Western Conference semifinals on Thursday night. The two teams split the regular season series, and with another single elimination battle ahead, the Suns will need to bring their best to keep their dream alive. Corbin Burnes made his highly anticipated D-backs debut last night, but it was Eugenio Suarez who stole the show in a thrilling win at Yankee Stadium. Burnes, the club's $210 million ace, had an uneven outing, allowing 4 runs over 4 1/3 innings, along with 8 strikeouts. The Diamondbacks trailed 4-3 in the 8th when Suarez, the reigning NL Player of the Week, stepped up with 2 outs to crush a go-ahead grand slam, which sealed their 7-5 victory. And by the way, all 5 of Suarez's hits this year have been home runs. The D-backs look to take Game 2 of the series tonight with Zach Gallen on the bump. In that matchup, expect to see one of the largest headlines captivating baseball at the moment, torpedo bats. It's a bat where the majority of the wood is in the middle. Cronkite News reporter Mihir Sinhasan has more about how these bats are affecting baseball.
That's right, Andres. While the Diamondbacks won yesterday, let's not forget that the Yankees have a high-flying offense. In fact, they're averaging over 10 runs per game to start off this young season, and some of that can be attributed to what we've seen from the torpedo bats that have an interesting science behind them. Less than a week into this MLB season, and the New York Yankees, along with their bats, have torpedoed their way into the headlines.
I hope the guy from the Yankees patented this idea, because I'm sure I could be wrong, but it seems like this might be the way forward.
The Yankees, with the help of former MIT physicist Aaron Lenhart, created what is being called the torpedo bat, where the thickest part is pushed towards the middle, where the hitter makes contact with the ball.
Concentrating that mass in sort of the sweet spot and where you want the point of contact to happen sort of limits all those other effects and maximizes how much momentum is being transferred.
It has some momentum now. It has some talking points around it, and so a lot of the players are starting to experiment with them where they maybe wouldn't have before.
With the growing popularity of torpedo bats, there's a chance you might see them here at Chase Field for Arizona Diamondbacks games. In fact, the Diamondbacks are facing some right now in New York as they take on the Yankees. However, if you're wondering when could I see this at the college or youth level, well, that's going to take some time, as it's only available in wood bats, which are mainly used by professionals.
For a young player to switch from an aluminum or a composite material bat to a wood bat would put them at a competitive disadvantage, with the sweet spot being much smaller.
But the bats may still have a bright future in the game.
If they embrace it, I think you'll see it trickle down into the college and the high school sports.
We have to remember that the hitter still has to hit and the swing still has to be made until we get that long-term data, at least over the course of a few months. It's hard to really judge where we head.
Now the Diamondbacks players have voiced their opinions about the torpedo bats. Jake McCarthy saying earlier this week that at first glance it seemed pretty funny, but now he thinks that they are pretty cool. As for other players, they're willing to try out the bat and see how it feels. From the Cronkite Sports Bureau, I'm Mahir Sinhasan, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Mahir. The Arizona Rattlers began their quest for back-to-back championships at Desert Diamond Arena on Sunday. The Tucson Sugar Skulls were in town to kick off this season for the new-look Rattlers. Cronkite News reporter Roman Martinez was in Glendale covering the team's first home game of 2025.
A night of celebration for the 2024 IFL defending champs as the Arizona Rattlers unveiled their 7th championship banner in front of a packed Desert Diamond Arena. With a mostly turned-over squad, the team has moved on from last year's success and is now prepared for the new season ahead.
Playing aggressive. I've been on the team for quite a long time now. This year we're playing aggressive. I like how we're coming in, young guys coming in ready to play.
The team's new players have a returning veteran to guide them as star quarterback Dalton Snead re-signed a 1-year deal with the team last week after contemplating retirement in the offseason. For Snead, getting to know his teammates and getting prepared to do it all over again is the part of the process he enjoys the most.
I genuinely care about these guys. When we sit down at the table, hey, how's your family? Tell me about home, right? I want to build that. It's a friendship. And until you have a friendship on these teams, these guys won't trust you. And if they don't trust you, they'll play hard for you.
For head coach Kevin Guy, the team chemistry starts from the top all the way down. Owner Ron Schertz was a season ticket holder since the team's inception in 1992. Now, in 2025, he's overseeing the Rattlers' winning ways in the Indoor Football League.
I mean, he understands how to manage people. He understands how to manage me. We've known each other for several years, and he knows my personality, and I think he does the best job of all the owners I've ever worked for.
With experience at key positions, a supportive owner, and proven success on the field, the Rattlers are in prime position to slither their way to a back-to-back championship run. In Glendale, Roman Martinez, Cronkite News.
The Rattlers' next game will be April 6th in Wisconsin against the Green Bay Blizzard. Arizona State's standout freshman Jaden Quaitons, a projected top pick in the 2026 NBA draft, is exploring the transfer portal. Quaitons, who recently underwent ACL surgery, is expected to be cleared for contact by September. The 6'10" phenom earned Big 12 All-Freshman and All-Defensive honors, averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game, all while being the youngest player in college basketball. Now he's set to become one of the most sought-after names in the transfer portal, drawing major attention from top programs. When it opened in 2022, Legacy Sports Complex in Mesa was the pinnacle of sports facilities for youth and amateur athletics. Now, 3 years later, the father and son duo who opened it have run into severe legal issues. Tuesday, Randy and Chad Miller were each charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit securities and wire fraud. The indictment claims the Millers misrepresented the economic prospects and risks associated with Legacy Park to induce investors to purchase bonds. The project was funded by state government bonds totaling $282 million, issued by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority. Randy Miller's nonprofit Legacy Cares, which operated the park, filed for bankruptcy protection in May 2023. The facility, now known as Arizona Athletic Grounds, was bought in October 2023 for just $26 million. That's all for tonight's Cronkite Sports Report. Jacob and Ari, back to you.
Coming up next, how one company is fighting invasive species in California.
However, their methods are a little untraditional. When we come back, find out more about this group of canines and how they are sniffing out these invasive creatures. Where are we going?
teach them to go find their ball in a box and to sit or stare or what have you. And then what we do is we just pair the odor with the ball.
Welcome back. A company in California is using dogs to help stop the spread of invasive mussels.
Yeah, golden mussels are native to Asia and have been found in several waterways near Sacramento.
Mussels as larvae are almost undetectable, which makes them hard to catch and can easily attach to boats and kayaks. The job of the mussel dogs are to inspect each boat before it launches to help mitigate the spread. Most of the dogs are being used as rescues, and in the summer will be spread out across the state to help stop the invasion. That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Seaver.
And I'm Ari Wall. Thank you for joining us.
Congratulations. It was a pleasure.